feel what they mean, but you can't explain it.
Yeah. And it just happens randomly too. Like one day I was just looking at TV. I wasn't even meditating. I looked off to the side and it looked like it was a projector screen, and it was just floating in midair, and I could see what somebody was doing. I could see them talking to the people in their house. I could see that they were looking at TV, the computer, and all this other stuff, but they couldn't see me. Just, you know, what the heck? But it has been so much.
You know, Instagram, bullshit, y'all.
Am I asking the wrong questions? Have we fought in this war many times?
This war is a long, protracted struggle, but it's only been during this 24,000-year cycle has it been hostile.
Okay. Okay. Is this do we have many agendas when we come down here for like soul growth, doing shadow work, and a whole bunch of other stuff mixed up together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of that is what you call your book of life.
Okay. Okay.
Your book of life is your DNA code.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And by learning who you are and learning to trust and believe in yourself and love yourself, it starts revealing the blueprint in real time, and you reading it as it's happening. This is in my book of life, right? Right.
Yeah.
In your book of life, you have what's called fail safes. You know when they say when the student is ready, the teacher will come?
Yes.
Right. Well, while the student is taking the test, the teacher is quiet. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not stuck, there's no need to communicate with the teacher. You got to do your work.
It still feels lonely though.
That's because you're searching in your heart for your path. That sensation of loneliness comes from being drawn to your path, because can't nobody walk it but you. So the being alone becomes the rule to develop where you want to go.
Right.
That's where you map out your best life scenario. That's where you get to read the final chapter in your book of life for this earth realm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you work towards the end from where you at. You fill in the gap. That's part of the learning to love yourself, because while you're looking for validation to relieve the loneliness externally, you can't never validate yourself to be whole, so that it'll automatically attract what you need, and the loneliness won't come into play.
Okay. One more question. I've been having like this feeling, I think it's because of my natal chart. I have a more humanitarian type of vibe going on. And when this new earth happens, what's going to happen to those that don't make it? Are they going to be in like a waiting state and before they're able to incarnate back on here? But it's not going to be a 3D realm. It's going to be a 5D realm, right?
It's going to still look the same.
Oh, okay.
But technologically, it won't be the same.
Yes. And bodies will be different. These avatars will be different as well, right?
They're going to alter over time.
2060 keep coming up for me. I keep getting like completion. I don't know what that means. So just putting that out there. Thank you so much, Rod, for everything.
Okay, you're welcome, sweetie.
Okay. Bye.
So she was talking about the self-work aspects and learning who you is. The goal is to learn how to read your book of life and then you can follow the pattern to your best life with the least amount of resistance. But if you don't read it, you're going to bump into every obstacle till you get down the right path. So you're going to either walk the road blindly, or you're going to open up the path and walk the road and with your eyes wide open, even when they shut, because you have a plan, right? So old saying, those who fail to plan has planned to fail, because you're going to have a plan whether you develop it or not, right? So when you put all of this shit together, we get a whole nother level of understanding and growth from a spiritual perspective to aid in the overall development of the human. So we going into uncharted territory. So the genetics is a motherfucker, and inviting the right species to complement the DNA in order to correct the birth defect anomalies to prevent people from ascending and balancing these energies. Whew, that's some testy shit. Okay, I got 5 questions. The last new moon of the year, the people who do moon magic would already know what to do for that. If you're not into moon magic, then to spontaneously do the rituals without the training probably won't make much sense. So the problem with the children that's prone to suicide is they going through transitional phases, and nobody told them that the shit's supposed to get hard, so they're not prepared for it. So they drop out of class, basically, is what the suicide is. The Grand Canyon is not connected to Arizona by geography. It's connected by a stargate. There was a stargate in Arizona that came out in Cairo by the pyramid complex. We in Atlantis, Lemuria, a whole different landmass is no longer present. It's under the ice in Antarctica. Shangri-La, I'm not too versed on that one. Listen, there is no philosopher or scholar that existed in the BC period and early AD period that didn't finish their master studies up in Alexandria.
That's right. Go ahead. Hey, this right here book look fire too. The ancient
This is a collection of 5 or 6 books, maybe 7.
Hey, go ahead, Roy. You got another book you want me to pull up before we go to the next one? While we up in this?
Yeah, you might as well pull up the Holy Science.
Okay, the Holy Science.
So in here he gives you a blueprint of the collective conscious, and when you meditate, how to move through the unconscious. See the man with the beard in the first picture?
Yeah. Damn, bro. How you be knowing all these damn books, bro? You got more books in your head than the damn library, bro.
All sleeping quarters.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the Longhouse of War. That would have been the Gullah Geechee Big Mama that called us over here. She would have had the tribesmen come in and build this longhouse so that we have sleeping quarters at the war.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we would have had the longhouse, then we would have had the red house would have been for the daughters, and the blue house would have been for the sons. This is how you get your different rites of passage. Then you had babies that was too young to live with the boys, and they stayed extra time in the red house. That became the sons of the red house.
Okay.
These are all traditions around the world that were usurped and organized under ritual rites of secret societies. When you know your culture, when you read it back to the people, they understand what's going on the land. right? So the Iroquois Constitution was the codified oral speeches that somebody overheard and wrote down in a longhouse meeting. And that's how they end up with a constitution. The reason the Constitution worked because it was a blood right oath.
Okay.
And the blood right tied us to the George Washington challenge because the Constitution, the original Constitution, was taken away and rewritten in the blood of a guy named Crispus Attucks. Type him in.
All right, Crispus Attucks.
Yep, CRISPUS ATTICKS.
They spell that last name Attucks.
You gotta spell his first name, his last name will pop up. PUS CRISPUS.
I got you.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
First one. That one.
A Nubian brother.
You see the one right there with the writing on it to tell you a little bit about him? Yeah.
Yeah, free black man living in Boston.
Blow that up.
All right, let me see. Can I blow it up for you? Can't go for that free black man joint no more, man. They hustle on. That's their hustle game. Yeah, free black man living in Boston during the time of Boston massacre. Possible descendant of the Wampanoag Indians, and yeah, we know he a descendant. Ain't no possible. They burning their game, and the African American slaves were referred in the Martin Luther King Jr.'s 1964 speech, died instantly from a bullet at the Boston massacre. You know that was a setup, Rod. Go ahead.
Now remember,
that was a setup.
I told you this who blood the Constitution was written in.
Instantly at a massacre. Go ahead.
You hear me? This is whose blood the original. Yeah, the Constitution was written in his blood. That's why we couldn't break it. That's why it took us so long to break it, because they used the blood of the righteous to write the contract. Notice he the first person killed.
Go ahead, man.
They using Babylonian blood magic. Right. And they wrote the Constitution in his blood. This is what make us have to go into the conjure war, because now we locked into the contract that they call the Constitution. Type in original Constitution.
That's crazy, bro. That's good stuff right here, bro.
It's in the George Washington Memorial, I believe. Your mitochondrial frequency is putting more energy into your DNA, which is making your auric field expand out further than it normally would. You're moving into what you call your matriarchal position now, which is a high mother's seat. Right, so your mother instincts are sharp, keen, and you protective of the children, and these are the things that's driving your mitochondria to continuously expand this energy into the DNA. When this happens, your chakras, right? Your chakras are gotta have to be aligned. If they don't, then the harmony is in disarray. Once you start aligning the chakras, it plays a beautiful musical symphony. The songs are the spheres, which is all chakras playing in harmony together. And it's a combination of grounding, spiritual baths, and cleanses. And you got the cleanses out the way. So now you just set the spiritual baths and the grounding and the me time. You got to have your me time. Because that's where you start to reorganize all of that stuff.
in your me time.
Okay.
I appreciate the call, sis.
Okay, thanks. Peace,
All right,
peace.
thank you. Peace,
All right.
peace. All right, let's get to the next caller. Let's get to Miko. Miko. What's up, Miko? You got a question? Yeah.
You live on stage, girl.
Miko. I don't think she knows.
She
I
must
can't
have
hear
a-
you. I can't hear you.
Are you on mute?
I can't hear you. It's her computer. She's not on mute on my end. We can't hear you, Miko. Yeah, Miko, we can't hear you. All right, Miko, I'm gonna have to let you go. Let me see if she.
Nope. She
Yeah.
probably don't have a microphone on the computer.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Go to the next caller.
Taze.
Hi, nice to meet both. My
Peace,
name is
peace. What's your, how you say your name?
Thais.
Thais. All right. What's your question, Thais?
So everyone has a very different opinion on this, but I just want to hear your take on it, Rod Hayes, because you're an extremely smart person. So I just want to hear what you have to say. So what time frame would you say like you should have like your gold, your land, and all your like stuff in order by? Because I'm like in the process of getting my stuff in order, but I want to know like I like knowing different people's perspectives, if that makes sense.
You mean for your personal life path? At what age should you have all your goals accomplished or met? Or
Yeah.
so that's individual by individual. First off, because your goals are not my goals. My goals are not your goals. And you set your goals based on the ability you have to achieve it now, or what do you have to learn in order to be good at whatever it is that's going to allow you to accomplish your goal. If I wanted to be the heavyweight champion in the world, I should have started training 50 years ago, 40 years ago when I was 10, right? But I didn't train to be the heavyweight champion in the world then. So that was an unrealistic goal if I had it at 10 years old, or it was a dream, a fantasy, right? Anything that you get, whatever your goal is, you have to do what's called a self-evaluation. Where am I at right now in accomplishing this goal? Right? What do I know about it? I want to be a hair tech, but I ain't never did hair a day in my life. Well, the first thing I need to do is find somewhere where somebody can teach me the basics of doing hair. Right? Because I can't set a goal to be a hair tech with my own salon and I can't do hair. I can get the salon, but I wanted to be the tech that's doing it. I can't participate in. That's an unrealistic expectation. And so that wouldn't be a good goal. But if I set the goal, I know, okay, well, it's going to take me this amount of time to learn how to do this type of hair, right? And then from there, it's going to take me this amount of time to implement a business model that allows me to get to that part where now I've successfully become a nail tech with my own salon, right? So it becomes your ability to map and plot your program determines when it's the attainability of the goal. If you want to be a doctor, the earlier you start studying medicine, the better, right? So my nephew was 6, told me he wanted to be a doctor. Told me when he was 8, I sent him a Merck manual of medicine, and I sent him a medical encyclopedic dictionary. He needed to know the language, and he needed to know what they're using to treat what. Then later on, I could send him something on homeopathy to start steering him toward a naturopathic physician's mindset, because there's a herb for every ailment of the body. You know, so your goals are contingent upon your preparation and your deadlines. How well will you be in plotting your path? It's individual by individual.
I appreciate your call, sis.
Thank you.
All right, peace. All right. Let's get to another one. Our connection seems to be.
Don't say nothing. Just keep doing what we doing.
Just keep going what we doing. Let's get to Candy Kane. What's good, Candy Kane? You got a question for Rod Hayes?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm hearing a delay. I'm hearing more than one.
You sound muffled. Is your microphone covered up or something on your phone?
We can't hear you.
I do. So, hi, how you doing? How do you overcome your fears? Like earlier you spoke about fear.
Nah, yeah, can't hear you good.
It's not. Can you hear me now?
It's
a delay. Can you hear me?
So you asked for strategies on how to overcome fears, right?
Yes, and how do you spiritually protect yourself?
Okay, so spiritual protection falls under the category of psychic self-defense. There's a lot of different ways you can do that. The basics of spiritual baths and grounding are the most basic